Okay. Hello, family. I promised I was going to start this up again. And we're going to see how it goes. This is another Us on the Bus episode. The reason I'm starting this today is because in our community, black community, we see so many instances of just utter disrespect shown to us by so many people. The saddest part is that a lot of times it's our own people, our own black people that show us disrespect. And I've wondered ever since I was a child that was raised to respect elders. Why is it that our young people don't respect their elders? Why is it that, and I'm not talking about the cursing because I don't give a shit what words come out of your mouth. They're just words. I was raised with words don't hurt, all right? But I'm talking about they'll see an elderly lady struggling with bags, won't even try to help her, won't hold the door open for a woman. Just got on the bus and this little young, I don't know what she is, she don't know what she is, ran and jumped on the bus in front of a line of people that was waiting to get on the goddamn bus. Now, that in and of itself was disrespectful. The looks the little heifer was given to the people that was sitting around was even worse. Needless to say, even though she probably prescribes to the idea that she's Caucasian because of her complexion, she doesn't know she's black. Because by scientific definition, anyone with brown eyes, brown or black hair, and tans in the sun is black. That's it. Get rid of the emotions, get rid of the bullshit that you've been taught, because once again, family, remember something. We were taught that Christopher Columbus discovered America, Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity, and George Washington chewed with wooden teeth. Lies. We were taught that Jesus was an actual person, that Moses and Noah existed, and that there were Hebrew slaves in the land that you call Egypt. Once again, more lies. All these lies that we've been indoctrinated with for our whole lives, we're holding on to them. And it's not logical, which doesn't make sense for us because we are the descendants of the first people that had an actual thought in our brains. 65th Street. One thing that they taught me in school, and they teach this in all schools, is that black people are the oldest people on the planet. By you being the oldest people on the planet, that means you were the first people to think, the first people to talk, the first people to read, the first people to write. You are the inventors of everything that you see around you. Because of your ancestry, by blood, you have sovereign claim to everything that you see made by human hands. They don't teach you that. They'll go over the land that you call Egypt, still today, digging up the graves of your ancestors. I want to see you go to a Jewish grave site and dig those graves up and take whatever belongings, whatever artifacts are in there and claim them as yours. I dare you. Because they'll say, oh, that's my family, you can't do that. Try that with any other ethnicity. You won't get away with it, they'll kill you.
Watch this now.
But you, because you see no value in yourself, will allow them to dig up your ancestral artifacts, your ancestral knowledge and wealth, claim it as theirs, and give you no credit. Don't tell you shit about it. You'll sit up there and watch Ignorant Households of Atlanta. You'll watch the most silliest, the most wretched, not ratchet, the most wretched shit known to humanity. Listen to words to a song saying, my booty hole is brown and my coochie is pink. And you will actually see that as some fucking form of entertainment. Well, if that's entertaining to you, I will advance this notion to you. If you listen to this bullshit music that's going on now, you watching these fucked up ass videos, then I also would like for you to watch babies being held up by their feet being beat with baseball bats. Would you find that entertaining? I would like you to watch your mothers being raped in front of your fathers. Would that be entertaining? No? Not entertaining? But that shit actually happened to us as a people. Yes, that actually happened. Per the book, The Destruction of the West Indies, written by Bartolomé de las Casas, 1492 to 1542. In this book, he details how Caucasians came to the Western Hemisphere and exterminated 27 to 37 million black people. Would take pregnant women and cut their bellies open, take the unborn babies out of their wombs and bash their heads against the rocks in front of their fathers. These are the kind of things that was done to us by people that tell you today that you ain't shit, your ancestry ain't shit, but they dig up your ancestors' graves and take it for theirs. Well, why wouldn't they? You don't find any value in it. You find value in your booty holes being brown and your coochies being pink. You find value in, I'm a down core nigga, some shit, other ignorant ass shit. Family, we, right now, especially in America, but all over the world generally, we're at a very crucial time. Right now, we are at the opening to the portal of the age of Aquarius. Those who are of my age remember that song. It's a big hit in the late 60s. The dawning of the age of Aquarius. But do you know what the age of Aquarius actually is? The age of Aquarius denotes a change in the thinking of the world. This knowledge, this new way of thinking is because we are now, and it wasn't Aquarius, but it was denoting the water bearer. We are now embarking on the time when the African goddess principle returns back to the planet. Okay? And who bears more waters than the woman? Right? As a child, you are born in a bag of waters provided by your mother. Mother, matter. All the matter of your body is provided by your mother. Think about that now. In that bag of waters, your mother provides the chemical components to make up your body. And because we have allowed the Caucasian animal to usurp that knowledge from us, we disrespect our mothers. We give our black women no respect, no value, other than what's between their legs. Oh, wait a minute. Because so many black men now are doing it in a dude shoot, you want to play with their asses. Which is once again coming from the Caucasian. Because in those ice caves, when it's minus 100, minus 200 degrees, as any man knows, your penis is going to seek out someplace warm. Ask any man that has ever urinated outside in the cold. Doesn't your penis shrivel up when it's cold? So if you're in a temperature of minus 100 and minus 200 degrees, your penis is gonna say any hole will do. You wanna know where anal sex came from? You wanna know where homosexuality came from? Pedophilia and incest did not come from you black people. That came from them. And because you don't know that, and you don't know your value, you accept their bullshit, and you do it. It's very, very interesting that in the oldest language known to humanity, there are no words for orphan. If there's no words in a language for something, that means that that thing does not exist. So in our ancient societies, in the land that you call Egypt, the actual name being Kemet, there were no orphans. You know why? Because if both parents were killed or died, somebody would take that baby into their home as theirs and raise that child with love. There also was no word for cannibalism because our people didn't eat their dead. They did. There was no word for homosexuality. It didn't happen. That is unnatural. There was no word for jail. No word for mass murder. No word for pedophilia. No word for incest. And there were thousands of words there are hundreds of words in the Medu Neter, the oldest language known to humanity. Pardon? This is out of my head, brother. Thank you, God. I've been doing this I used to do this regularly when I would get on the bus going downtown. I make videos. Hey, because we need to have this conversation. But see, this is the thing about it. Whether they want to have it or not, they need it. And it's the truth. I was taught by my grandmother something, and I try to hold on to this. My grandmother taught me, if you love somebody, you never lie to them. What? Yeah, right. But like I said, my grandmother taught me that if you love somebody, you don't lie to them. All these black faces on this bus, I love you. Y'all could be killers, rapists, or anything else, but on face, I love you because you are my family. So I'm not gonna lie to you. On face value. All right?
But it could be to your detriment.
Brother, I lost $137,000 a year job because of this.
But you single, and to piggyback on what you're saying, it goes full circle. You see what Harriet Tubman had to do to the people.
Yeah.
Somebody got to tell them that's what we want.
Hey, listen. Here's the thing. Harriet Tubman and the people at that time did not have the knowledge of Kemet. Okay? They didn't have the knowledge of their ancestors because it was stolen from them. You could, when they were, hey, brother, if I held you as my captive and I'm profiting off of your captivity, am I gonna give you the keys to set you free? Hell no. And that's what we don't understand.
But no, look. It's funny you say that, because I'm watching it now. People doing that and having it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, with the teachers and command, it's up to, how can I say, it's real. Everybody can be real. We just fundamental.
Yes.
What they tell us in language terms and any other terms.
Ain't not gonna, it's reinforced. Right.
And then it come back full circle. So it's up to you if you want to.
But brother, you gotta, here's the thing about it. You're not gonna find that book.
Exactly.
If you,
want to.
but right. You have to want to.
Some people want to stay dumbed down.
But here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about ignorance. And ignorance means having no knowledge of something. That's what the word ignorance means. You cannot have knowledge of anything that you don't know anything about. All right? So if everybody on this bus, all they know is Egypt, they're never going to look for Kemet because they never looked at Kemet. They never heard that word. And matter of fact, Jerusalem, the land that is Jerusalem, at one time was Kemet.
It's just like literally crossing from right.
Man, you could walk from Egypt. You could walk from Egypt to Jerusalem in a few days. So why did it take Moses 40 years? Because it's a lie. There's no evidence of that ever happening. But see, that's the thing about it. If you don't see anything else, and the only thing that if the only thing that I saw was white supremacy, I'm going to think that the Caucasian animal is supreme.
Well, let's not, to be honest, and I like to put devil's advocate, but let's not forget that the Moors made slaves out of people.
Okay.
That's what we
All right.
That's what
Well,
we get the Muslim and the Moors religion and the
yes,
Christians.
you are right to a certain extent.
And, you know, it was, but it wasn't as intense as.
Hold on. There's a lot of interesting lectures and classes about that. What the Moors, because there always has been servitude. Okay, always has been servitude. Yes. All right.
When we work for people, it's
Right.
servitude.
Right. But what was servitude to the ancient and the Africans at that time was a sense of working to repay a debt. All right. So even when they sold, quote unquote, sold people to these Europeans, it wasn't chattel slavery. It wasn't that I'm selling you this person as a possession. This person is going to work in servitude. All right? Right. But see, that whole slave, that chattel slave mentality comes out of the Caucasian mind, because guess what? Where the Caucasian was made, they didn't have shit. They didn't have no greenery to eat. Nothing green grows at temperatures minus 100, 200 degrees. No running water. So the only thing you can drink is blood. The only thing you're going to have to eat is meat. All right? There's nothing else. All right? You're cut away from the original stock that you come from.
You're explaining common sense, but common sense ain't common with most people.
And since it is not common,
You have to be.
well, brother, this is why. Right, but this is what I advance to you.
What grows in the cold?
This is what I advance to you, though.
What is in the cold?
Nothing.
What blooms in the beginning of the year?
Nothing.
Flat. Exactly.
See, but this is what I advance to you. Well, you know the Gregorian calendar is the calendar has been revised 5 times.
You said the same
Yes.
thing.
All right. But see, once again, our people don't know about the calendar addendum. They don't know about the oldest calendar. They don't know about Naphtali. Our people don't know that. Yes. But we have to. We. That's okay. We brother, we overstand that. But here's the thing about it. There's going to be more that can't come if they don't know what's there. It is up to us, the ones that have the knowledge, to be light bearers. We have to be the light workers. We have to take this message to our people. Right? You heard of Kemet, right? How did you find out about Kemet?
I learned about it.
Okay, that means somebody told you about the Moorish temple. Okay, your father.
He's a Muslim.
Okay.
He used to be an elder, but
Right. Brother, I'm sick. I'll be 60 Saturday, so believe me, I know. Salaikum salam, brother. Yeah. So here's the thing. You drop these seeds. All right? Just like you heard what I was saying and you gravitated to it and we having this conversation. Don't think that these brothers and sisters ain't listening. Whether they recognize it or not, here's the deal. Every so have I. Listen,
this ain't here and there. Motherfucker waiting on the next phone call. Where my package at?
Hey, look.
Who put something on my bus?
Niggas will never hear that because niggas are niggas. All right? But you know what's the key to get them out? You know the key for them not being niggas? Because nigga by definition means an ignorant person. The key to them not being niggas is knowledge. You drop the seed. The seed won't grow unless you water it, right?
But they say
So-
good, you be straight with knowledge.
Yes. So what you do, you drop the seed. They don't recognize it. Somebody else comes along and says some stuff, and then they say, "Wait a minute, I heard something like this before." You feel me? That elder goddess that was dressed here, that just got off. She heard what I was saying.
You know, it's so crazy.
What was that, brother?
It's funny you should say that. You say drop the seed and just let it go.
Yeah.
Each one teach one just like that. Some days you're gonna wake up on.
Yeah.
You'll take what you feel like.
Yeah.
If you are really paying attention to whatever maybe if you aware of,
Right.
or you just in life. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be aware.
Exactly.
It's just like
And then then it's your choice to continue. All right. Now here's the thing. Now you've learned about the Moors, so you know about the early enslavement period. Okay. Now, how was the complete mind wipe of a people accomplished? You know how? Repetition. You can't speak your language. I take this brother and I tell him every time he speaks an African language, I slap him. I beat him. Okay? Look. And then you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it. And then here's wait a minute. I beat it out of him, but what about his child? Say this is his daughter. At birth, or however old she is, I take her and I raise her as mine. Okay? So now you ain't even got a chance to know your daddy's language or your mama's language or know your people. Okay? This is how you wipe the greatness from our minds. But here's the thing. You can't wipe the greatness from ourselves. You cannot wipe that greatness from your DNA, because everything you are materially comes from your mother. All right? And everything she is came from her mother. Every woman on this bus. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. When I call black women goddess, and I've had women that tell me, don't call me no goddess, because they were cocksuckers for Christ. All right. But when I tell them this, the eggs in your body, you were born with them, and you make no more for the rest of your life. You got those eggs from your mother, who also got her egg from her mother, which means in your body are eggs that are over 3 million years old. So tell me you ain't God? See, when I start hitting them with this.
This is a question that I have for everybody that thinks like you. I don't have this conversation with
Okay, brother, bring it. Come on, sit down, man.
I'm cool.
All right.
Why is it in every book? You read in the Quran, you read in the Torah, you read it in the Holy Bible. Women is detrimental to our health. Like women is
You know why? Yeah, you know why?
How is it in like without man and woman, the Holy Trinity? How could it be possible?
It's not possible. Because the reason is that because those it wasn't men, it was the Caucasian, the oldest religions. No. I'm gonna hit you with something, because you are. Wait, because they niggas. I'm going back to a time. I'm gonna go back to 1700 BCE. All right. The Hyksos. The Hyksos come into Kemet. The Kemetic, you take them in, feed them, clothe them, wash them up, civilize them, and they teach them about the Neteru. They teach them about Asar, Aset, and Heru. All right. Then the Hyksos take over, so the Cushites come 100, 200 years later, and then you have the Amos and their family. Brother, listen, brother, love you. My name is Luke. Love you too, God. Ashe, Hotep to you. See, that was fulfilling. That right there was fulfilling. And yes, because of the Hyksos invasion of Kemet, that's why you have religions today. Because our ancestors taught them barbaric bastards. And then when they were kicked out because they were ungrateful motherfuckers, they were kicked out of Kemet. They went back into Asia with the knowledge that our ancestors tried to give them. But because their pineal glands were calcified, they did not fully comprehend the knowledge that they were given. So they go back into Asia and they make up these stories. So you will find that the oldest religions, Zoroastrianism and Hinduism, roughly 4,000 years old, denigrated women. What that brother was talking about. In order to, and now I'm saying it like this, I'm mistaken. I'm gonna say it this way. In a flawed way of thinking, in order for me to feel great about myself, I gotta put her down. In order for me to feel good about myself, I gotta put him down. You know why? Because my background is one of barbarism, murder, incest, rape, homosexuality, cannibalism, awful shit. So what I'm gonna do is put you down, take away your knowledge of your ancestors, and I'm gonna claim it as mine. But I can't claim it as mine because if I use the same words, the same names, your ancestral memory may kick in. So I'll change the names of this shit. And you'll never be able to attach yourself to the original source. You can't find it. So when we hear the story of Jesus, I'll just use that one. Not knowing that there were 16 savior gods before Jesus who were born of a virgin. Your ancestral memory kicks in and says, you know, that story sounds the same, sounds familiar, so I'll take it. Because you've never heard of Heru. The Greeks, who were actually Macedonians, but we'll go with the Greeks. They give you Osiris, Isis, and Horus. But those names, they changed. The original names was Set, the mother, Asa, the father, and Heru, the son. Set, the first virgin that gave birth to a child. Asar, the ruler, the liege who was killed by his brother Set, or Set-Typhon, the first brother-killing brother. Heru, born in a cave in Ethiopia, December 25th. Heru, whose birth was heralded by a star in the sky and attended by 3 kings coming from the east bearing gifts. Heru, who walked on the water, fed the hungry, healed the sick, and raised the dead. And Heru, who, when you're judged in the hall of judgment, brings you before his father, the Lord of the underworld. Don't that sound like the Jesus story? But the story I just told you is 10,000 years older. At least 10,000 years older than the Jesus story. So when common sense starts kicking in, ignorance starts falling away. Common sense tells you that something comes before something else. Even our ancestors, once again, the first thinkers on the planet, when they contemplated the Ankh and realized that this is also the Big Bang Theory, energy swole till it got to a point that it couldn't swell anymore. And at that point it exploded. The explosion going outwards. Time begins, and then light comes out. This is how creation began. But before any of that, there was something there before it. We have to go back in order to go forward. We have to go back to our ancestors, our true ancestors. Claim it as ours. The Arab invaders, once again, these were invaders. The people that you see in the land that you call Egypt today, their ancestors didn't come from there. The Arabs invaded after they helped kick the Romans out. This is less than 2,000 years ago. So if these people come into this land less than 2,000 years ago, but those pyramids are at least 3,000 years old, how the hell can you claim it? You can't. But because we don't have the knowledge that I just said, generally, we don't know this, we won't claim it. Right now, and I'm telling you, they are digging over in Egypt every day. What the hell are they looking for? Why aren't they digging in the Caucasus Mountains? And I can't even say Caucasus. Why aren't they digging over in Europe? Why? Because they know there's nothing there of worth. The only time that you expend a lot of energy is because you see that you feel that there's going to be some reward, right? You work out every day because the reward is your body's going to be healthy. Yes? You pull the weeds out of your garden because you want your garden to be fruitful. The only time that you expend energy is to get a payback. Think about that. Your ancestors carved in stone. Think about how much energy it takes to carve in stone. The Medu Neter was carved in stone all over the land of Kemet or Kemet. Carved in stone. That's a hell of a lot of energy to expend. Why? Why carve in stone? When at the same time you had papyrus. They were writing. But you carve it in stone so it lasts. So that those that come behind you, thousands and thousands, once again, at least 10,000 years later, will see this and realize, damn, there's something about that is very important. For somebody to expend that much energy, it's got to have some relevance. Right? Don't you give your child a name? Don't you make trust funds and wills to leave something for your children because you see some of your future in them? You expend that energy. As I'm approaching my 60th revolution around Ra, I truly wish that I could have given my children the knowledge that I embarked upon 16 years ago. I have done a lot of things that I'm not proud of. I've been as low as I could have possibly have been in some of my actions. In these us's on the buses, in these posts that I make on Facebook, in everything that I do, in conversations with people, I try to drop a seed so that maybe that seed will find fertile ground in the mind of that black person. And out of the curiosity, they'll research and they'll find how great we really are. I want you to think about this and mull this over. The enslavement period lasted 400 years. By all rights, you shouldn't see black people today. You shouldn't see black people anywhere. Either worked to death or outright killed. The only reason, once again, that you expend a lot of amount of energy is because you see some value in expending it. How much energy did the Caucasian animal expend to enslave the black mind? Erroneously, it didn't work. I'm free. My great-grandmother was an enslaved black woman in Georgia. I'm free. Do you understand what I'm saying? You do not have to accept the situation that you find yourself in. There is consequences to your choices. If you know better, you do better. These are the wisdoms given to me by my mother, given to her by her mother. Go back and take this. The only way you're going to do better is you know better. But if you have no knowledge about this, you're not going to do better. Why is it that you think that they don't teach you this shit in school? Right. They don't want you to know it. Because if you know it and you talk about this, think about this, Goddess, Elder Goddess. Think about what I'm saying. If this conversation I'm having on this video, because I'm making a video, but if this was an everyday conversation among black people, if we sit down at the dinner table and instead of talking about niggering households of Atlanta or what basketball team was doing good or trying to get a bag, but we talked about our ancestors invented every math. Our ancestors were doing successful brain surgery 3000 BC. Our ancestors was traveling in time. Our ancestors built the greatest structures on this planet. Until this day, they still stand, and they don't know how to build them. If we were having these kind of conversations, would you see black people shooting each other here on the streets of Chicago? Would you see sisters, young sisters running around here talking about, I'm a bad bitch? You see what I'm saying? Would you see our people out here drunk every damn day on heroin, cocaine? No, because when you know you are God, you will not do ungodly things. That's the fact of it. This young lady wouldn't have butted in front of everybody on the bus. She wouldn't have shown her elders that disrespect. Quite sure she finds no value in us as being black any goddamn way. But I thank you for doing that, because by you doing that, I'm restarting my us's on the buses. That disrespect you showed my people is why I'm doing this. So I definitely thank you for it. I bet you she won't do that shit no more. I'm a light warrior. This is what I do in my life. Goddess, thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you for bringing us, males, forth. Because out of your desire, I came into this world. The black woman was the first human being on this planet, and evidence shows this. There wasn't no Adam and then Eve. It was you first. Thank you. I mean that. Yes, family. That's what you do. That is how you're supposed to act. Until someone shows you they are not worthy of respect, then you respect them. Period. There's no reason for me to call any of these women on this bus a bitch unless they show themselves to be so. You want to be a bitch, you act like a bitch. You want to be a no good motherfucker, you act that way. But until that person shows you that, you give them respect. Period. But they're not going to respect themselves if they don't know what they are. Take care, Goddess. She ran and sat up there. See, that's that, ooh, my feelings is hurt. I don't give a fuck. She got her earpods in or whatever it is, so she shouldn't be listening, right? Oh, but she heard me, goddamn it. Believe me. She felt me. light workers, stand up. Make your presence be felt. Make your energy known. Let your aura be your weapon. And like the fable of John the Baptist, once again, I said the fable, you be the herald and let the world know what is coming. Prepare the way. I'm not a prophet, not by your flawed way of thinking, but I see what's happening in the world. I see these signs. Right now I'm traveling through Bronzeville, which is less bronze than it was 40 years ago. Right around here, where I'm at right now, you wouldn't have saw no white people. No. You wouldn't have. Here's another fact, black people, that we fail to grasp. That in the history of humanity, whenever black people have stayed together, stuck together, have been isolated from the Caucasian animal, we've prospered. Only when integration happens is when blacks falter. That's a fact. Like I said, I gave you a reference, the Hysos. Want me to give you another example? Rosewood, Florida. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Chicago. Anytime we integrate or allow them into our space, we fall. Reclaim your spaces all over the world. The Caucasian animal comes from the icy region and the icy caves of a land that they call Europe, which is not a continent. That's some more of that grandiose bullshit. Europe isn't a continent by definition. It is not surrounded on all sides by water. It's part of Asia. Let them go back to where they come from. Matter of fact, I would love to go back to Africa. Matter of fact, I'm going back to Africa next year. But I would love to go back and stay, because Africa, Africa, still is and will always be the continent with the most natural resources, the better environments, everything. Fresh water. But you don't know that, because the only images of Africa you see are impoverished people, dust, war. So start looking at different shit. Start looking in other places for the sources of your information, family.
26th Street.
With that, I'm ending this Us on the Bus. Ashe Hotel.